classmate of Brett Kavanaugh at Yale, who has come out and said that the judge lied while he was testifying there. Katie, I know that there are reports that at one point, in fact, President Trump was resigned to allow a more expansive FBI investigation, but it was in fact the White House counsel, Don McGahn, who stepped in to keep this into a very limited role and confine the FBI's investigation. What do we know about how involved the White House was in actually defining and controlling the FBI's investigation?
So it's interesting what you say about McGahn. We know that McGahn did say, no, we cannot make this an open-ended investigation. It would be a disaster. And we also know that McGahn told Judge Kavanaugh, now Justice Kavanaugh, that when he came out before the Senate, he needed to channel his anger and he needed to show them how he felt, because he knew, McGahn knew, that it would rally support from the GOP. That's because Don McGahn is playing the long game. He knows that, yes, will there be an asterisk next to Justice Kavanaugh's name now? Absolutely. Will people believe that his opinions aren't legitimate? Absolutely. But will it matter? Absolutely not. Because whether or not you think his opinion is legitimate, it is still going to be the opinion of a Supreme Court justice cementing a goal that the Republican Party has been pursuing since the 80s with intense focus to create a very conservative Supreme Court. So if the Democrats don't like it, then they need to get out and start winning some elections. And this idea of the blue wave and that women are going to come out and the polls, et cetera, it actually surprises me that Democrats believe that this is a done deal. It's almost like they don't remember 2016 when all the polling said that Hillary was going to win.
Right.
When all the polling said that there was going to be a wave of women supporting her. And you know what we saw? We saw a wave of women support Trump. We saw a silent majority that didn't want to come out in the polling and say that they're going to continue to support Trump. And if you're a Republican today, you might not like Trump, but he just delivered for you. And we have two left-leaning Supreme Court justices who are in their 80s, and he could deliver for them again in the next 2 years. Why wouldn't Republicans be galvanized right now? And I don't understand why Democrats
fair point on that.
any power.
Yeah, fair point on that. Sean, let me ask you really quickly. Nancy Pelosi is pursuing a Freedom of Information request for not only the FBI report, but also communications between the White House and the FBI. We also know, as we heard from Congressman Ted Lieu and others, if they take control of Congress in the midterms come November, and they are going to subpoena those documents, what would that tell us, you think?
Well, I think it'll tell the broader story, exactly how narrowly scoped this was, and the back and forth when the FBI did uncover information, because there were people that were coming into field offices, there were phone calls that were coming in around the country. The FBI was collecting that information, and they would typically forward that over to the Department of Justice, up to the White House, saying, we've got this new information about somebody who's come forward. And they'll see that back and forth, whether the agents were actually precluded from going out and following logical leads, which they would do if they were doing a suitability inquiry as they did the original time they did this.
Yeah. All right, Katie Benner, Sean Henry, Paul Butler, thank you very much. Appreciate all your insights as always. Coming up, an international mystery protesters demanding answers after the disappearance